Wow, this story is quite interesting. Very surprised to me, and then also very sad. Now, what does the story say? We're talking about Japan's ex prime minister who has been shot dead at a campaign event. This is crazy. Shinzo Abe, or Shinzo, any way you want to pronounce it, but from where I come from, I would say Shinzo Abe. Was shot dead this morning when he was actually at a campaign event. And then, per the information we are picking up, 41-year-old suspect actually did that. And then we have been also told that the 41-year-old suspect, per reports, indicate that he was a former member of the Navy, and then such a sad act could come from him. Well, I'm still surprised about how this happened, but first of all, I'm still traumatized about the fact that somebody could go that close to the security of a president of an advanced country of this sort, and then nobody could notice that, and to a point that he has been gunned down. I wouldn't want to judge, but first of all, the security of a president is very key here. This is not the point where you have to put blames. Our condolence to the family and to the whole people of Japan. First, I'll take my time and then go through the story for us to really know what really transpired. Japan's former minister Shinzo Abe has died in the hospital after he was shot at a political campaign event, says local media. Now, Mr. Abe was shot at twice while he was giving a speech in the southern city of Nara on Friday morning. He immediately collapsed and was rushed to the nearest hospital. Pictures taken at the scene showed him bleeding. Security officials at the scene tackled the gunman, and the 41-year-old suspect is now in police custody. In an emotional press conference earlier, Prime Minister Fumio Kishida told reporters that Mr. Abe was in a very grave condition. Currently, doctors. So this was his quote, according to the current Prime Minister. Currently, doctors are doing everything they can, said Mr. Kishida, who appeared to be holding back tears, adding that he was praying from his heart that Mr. Abe would survive. All right, so the current prime minister is actually praying that the ex-prime minister survives. We're all hopeful of that. We see what's going to happen, but the truth of the matter is, as I speak with you, he is not alive. According to his statement, he condemned the attack, saying that it's barbaric, malicious, and it cannot be tolerated. And of course, I believe this is barbaric, very malicious. I'm sure it could be politically motivated. It could be politically motivated. It could be politically motivated. I'm saying it could be. I'm not saying that it is a fact, but I think a lot of investigation would have to go into it. Now, the Fire and Disaster Management Agency confirmed that Abe had a bullet wound on the right of his neck and also suffered subcutaneous bleeding under the left part of his chest. As we speak, it's unclear if both shots hit him or if a bullet hit him on the neck and traveled elsewhere. The national broadcaster NHK said Abe was conscious and responsive while he was reported to the hospital, or whilst he was being transported to the hospital. But it's also quoted a senior member of Mr. Abe's party as saying the 67-year-old situation. So he's talking about the 67-year-old man's situation was worrisome. Mr. Abe's younger brother told reporters that the former MP was receiving a blood transfusion. As we speak, ex-Tokyo Governor Yoichi Masuzo had earlier said in a tweet that Mr. Abe was in a state of cardiopulmonary arrest. So it's cardiopulmonary arrest. All right. The term is often used before a death is officially confirmed in Japan. A bit of the background: Mr. Abe was giving a stamp speech for a political candidate in Nara at a road junction when the attack happened. Eyewitness said they saw a man carrying what they describe as a large gun and firing twice at Mr. Abe from behind. When they saw the man with the firearm, what then happened? At that point in time, what really happened? These are all questions. Well, it's general public. Then, if you are not also protected, it becomes difficult to approach someone with a gun. But I'm still questioning the security around the ex-president. And this is a lesson to all African leaders and then our security apparatus, how we handle our affairs. Already in the sub-Saharan Africa or in the West African part of Africa, a lot of instability, including Burkina Faso, the Mali, recently Guinea, and a lot more. So we need to be more careful. The suspect has been identified as Nara. We're going back to the story once again. So the suspect has been identified as Nara resident Tisuya. Okay, so actually, Nara is a resident of Tisuya Yamagami. The local media report says he is believed to be a former member of Japanese Marine Self-Defense Force. Okay, so it's actually Japanese Marine Self-Defense Force, Japan's equivalent of a navy. Mr. Abe's speech came as part of a campaign for his former party, the Liberal Democratic Party, as upper house elections in Japan are due to take place this week. So it was still a campaign mood. Campaign was still ongoing. Well, as we speak, ministers across the country were told to return to Tokyo immediately, according to local reports. And on Japanese social media, currently, I can tell you the hashtag currently on the Japanese social media is "We want democracy, not violence." So this has been trending for a while. All right, quite sad. Quite sad. You can see in the picture, ex-president lying down. I don't know what to say, but all we can say is may his soul rest in perfect peace. And then it's a lesson for all African leaders in terms of our security. We have to do better. Thank you for listening. Kwame for exclusive. Goodbye.